Hello and welcome back to Square One Games. My name is Exonovan and this is my Call of Duty World War II Veteran Difficulty Personal Play. The first thing that you want to do here, guys, is throw one thing of smoke right in front of you and then pop some smoke to the right of you at the statue. That should give you enough cover to be able to scoot over here to this field phone without dying. If you don't throw any smoke and you try to run that, there's a good chance you're gonna die or you're gonna be super low health when you get here. Just remember that once the sequence is over, you do get into the tank, so it really doesn't matter how much health you have as long as you can make it. Of course, for me, with my personal play challenge going on with no player damage, I had to make sure that I popped smoke there. I tried running that a couple times without popping smoke or just popping one thing of smoke, and it just didn't work. Two seemed to be the magic number for me to get through that with these. So however you decide to pull that off, that's not that difficult of a sequence. It just comes down to how much damage you're going to take in the process. When you get to this tank sequence, you have to make sure that you're conserving as much health as possible when you roll through here. The reason why is because there's going to be like a boss fight, if you will. It's going to be, I want to say there's three tanks, I believe, when you get to the end of this sequence. And it's probably the toughest encounter you've had so far in this run if you're not comfortable being inside of a tank with the controls, I mean, because you guys know driving these tanks is a little bit weird. Not so much here because we're going in a straight line for the most part, but when you get to that section, you do have to use, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you think about like a 90-degree angle, like the 90-degree angles on a building, right? The building has four sides, so you have four 90-degree angle turns. What you're doing in order to get gunfire on these tanks, because you can't shoot them from the front, you have to shoot them from the back or the side. So you can only imagine that what you're going to have to do is kind of pivot around one of those 90-degree angle turns and be looking in the direction that the tank is moving, because that tank has to, of course, come around that 90-degree angle turn, and thus showing you that tank's side. Does that make sense? If you're looking back on a corner of a building, you're pushing one way, the tank's coming around, you'll be able to see the side of that tank before it makes its turn. It's kind of what you're gonna have to do when you get to the end of this sequence, but you may get shot a couple of times trying to pull that off, because like I said, there at the end, I think there's gonna be one tank at the beginning and then two tanks at once. So it's a 1v1 and then a 2v1, I want to say. We'll know here in a second. It's been over a week since I've watched this clip, but I want to say that's kind of how it rolls when you get there. So if you've got two tanks firing on you, you're going to get shot. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not comfortable driving the tank. And it did take me some practice to get super comfortable driving these tanks. So you may want to practice that a little bit. That's probably going to be the reason why you're not succeeding, is just the fact that you're having issues driving the tank. I feel like if you get your tank driving skills up to par, then you'll have a great concept of how to pull this last encounter off, and it shouldn't be as difficult for you as someone else who's having issues driving the tank. I will show you how I do this though. It is on a pattern, and if you drive the tank correctly with the same speed that I'm going to show you in this clip, the enemy tank should be in the same positions that they are with me, and you should be able to pull off the exact same route that I take to be able to kill them. And I think it's coming up right here in a second. You can see that I have as much health as possible. I've only taken a little bit of damage, and that's going to really help me out with this fight. I think, yeah, here we go. So as soon as you drop down into this little hole or ditch or crater or whatever you want to call it, your teammate there is going to get popped. You want to go ahead and angle over and look. Try to go ahead and get you a shot or two on that guy. Sometimes you can't, like right there, I got a shot on its side before it made its turn. You just want to make sure you get some damage on it if you can. And you can see right here that I'm working that 90-degree angle. I just made my 90-degree angle turn. Boom, you see how he's coming down the street on its side. Now he's went ahead and turned, and now I'm just going to sit right here and kind of wait. Okay, so he's pushing this way, so I'm going to push back this way and focus on this 90-degree angle cut. So as soon as I see its side, I'm going to go ahead and fire my cannon. I don't know if it turned around or not. I can't hear anything in my headset right now, or I would tell you exactly where it was. That's big in this section is, okay, there he goes. Boom. I think I hit the building there by accident, but that would have been a direct hit. I know that it's either going to come on this back street or through the rubble in the middle, so I'm just kind of waiting to draw it out. You can see right there, boom, I get my shot, and then I make my cut. Then I make my move. And that's typically how you're going to take out. See, I just got shot right there. I probably shouldn't have got shot right there, but I didn't know if he was going to push that back street or through the rubble. So by pushing back to C, I took a hit. You can see right there, boom, catch him on the side, and that's how you're able to take him down. So you just want to keep working your way around these 90-degree angle turns, getting those shots to be able to take him out. Now this is where you're going to struggle. This sequence right here. That first fight, not so bad because you're just taking out one tank. This is the sequence that's going to give you trouble. Let me show you exactly how you can pull this off. Like I said, all these two tanks are on a pattern, and they're going to maneuver around the area based on where you are. So the first thing you want to do is try to get you at least 2 shots on that one. I think I only got 1. Back up. As soon as you pass that first building, wait, get a shot on the other tank, and then push, hit this 90-degree angle cut, then look back over your shoulder there and get you some shots on that tank, right? I think I only got 1 there. I don't know that it's possible to get 2, but definitely get 1, and then push around this building super fast, and you'll see that there's nothing there now, right? There's going to be a tank back there. Just keep going because that shot didn't count because I got him in the front. You're just going around this building 2 times. We just went around it 1 time. I'm kind of kiting that tank to follow me. See, the tank is following me right there. Get a shot on him there, and then I'm gonna get around this building super fast. And now that tank on the other side doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know whether it should turn around and intercept me or keep going. So it stalls. And then you can come through here and get a shot. I think I missed right there, but you can get a shot on its back right there as well, and that should be enough to take it out. And now you're just trying to hunt down the other tank. It should be somewhere on the other side of the map. Every time I practice this, and I practiced this probably like 4 or 5 times, and I was able to take down both of these tanks doing this exact same method that many times in a row. There is some variance on this last tank, but the first tank that we just took out, or I guess the second tank technically in this area, because the first one we took out at the main beginning on that back street, it usually played out the exact same way for me. I'm waiting on this dude right here. Oh, another thing too, guys, you can hit your touchpad and that makes the screen go black and white, and you'll be able to see your target. That's a great way to know which way the enemy's moving, because you get that icon which shows you where the other tank is through a wall. It's a great little tip for you guys. You'll see me do that. I want to say, yeah, see right there, I know that it's moving to the right, so I can get my shot on right there. Then I just keep doing that until both the tanks are dead. Now you can see that I didn't take too much damage there, but that's only because I knew the sequence, and I'm really comfortable driving the tank. If you don't know how to drive a tank, even though I just showed you the sequence, that still might be a tricky area for you guys to pull off. So you may just need to sit there for some time and practice. But remember, any shots you fire on the tank straight ahead is not going to bother the tank. You have to get a side shot, hit it on its side panels or from behind. And I don't know if hitting it from behind, because I think I missed my shot. If you go back and watch, I think I missed. I want to say it might do more damage than the side. I don't know if it's equal damage or not. So if you can hit them in the back, there is a possibility that you might can kill them a little bit quicker than what you saw me do. But I want to say that it takes about 3 or 4 shots to take those tanks down. So if you guys decide to test that, you can leave it in the comments and we can pass that information along to other gamers. Then when you get here, this is real simple. Just kind of hang back. These guys, I don't even know if I know the tanks have never shot at me, but I know the enemies across the way. There's going to be some enemies over in the buildings, and I'm even getting shot now from some of the enemies there on the ground. Yeah, see where it says destroy? Those enemies will definitely shoot you sometime. I want to say they actually have RPGs, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, you can see them. You can see them up there. So just destroy the buildings mainly. You can see the enemies, so if you want to get some shots on, that's possible, but I just like to just destroy everything. Also, make sure you're using your machine gun. You have your cannon, obviously, but it has to reload, which takes a couple of seconds. So you want to just pop a cannon and then fire some machine gun fire down there. Maybe you can get you a kill that way, or force them to go into cover, not fire on you, and that should be enough to get you guys through that. This is tricky. You have to make sure that you pop some smoke here. Well, I guess you don't have to. If you guys aren't going for the player damage challenge, then you probably can just run across, but just know you're probably going to take some damage from the gunner that's up in that window. And I've tried killing that gunner before with the RPG, but I've never been able to hit them. For some reason, when you fire off RPGs in this game sometime, it'll just go off in some weird direction. I don't really understand why it does that. But I guess it might be possible to take out the heavy gunner that's up in that window, but I wasn't able to do it. So I just decided to go ahead and pop some smoke, make it easy. When you get into this section, make sure you push behind the bar, and then you want to push over here. You get all the good angles from being on this side. If you're on the right hand side where I was when I first pushed past the bar, you don't get any good angles at all. These enemies will always stay kind of in the middle or to the right hand side of this room. There's only going to be maybe one guy that'll push to the left, which I think you saw at the beginning of this, like this position right here that I was just at. You don't want to stay over there for too long. So if you have to pop some smoke in that room to push across to the left hand side, that's probably going to be your best move. That'll definitely conserve your health. There is a guy that's behind a crate outside of this brick wall. So you have to make sure that you push across fast, because there's a good chance he could put some shots on you. I'm gonna show him to you. I think I show him to you right here. Yes, this dude. Make sure that you take him out. He's kind of annoying, because I think that most of you will probably think, oh, well, I just blew up the wall with the RPG, everything is good, and then you're gonna come out there and that one guy's gonna lay some fire into you. So you have to be careful with that section. I'm trying to remember, because like I said, it's been about a week. Oh, okay, I remember this section. So RPG City, want to go ahead and blow that wall up. There's a first aid kit in front of you, and then the cool thing is that you have a supply crate to your right, and yes, that will keep refilling your RPG ammo, or your Panzerschreck, I think is what they call it. I call it an RPG. But it'll just keep replenishing. Now, the only thing you got to worry about by using this method is you don't want to shoot one of your teammates, because that will definitely end up in a reset. But I think the good thing about this one, I want to say there's a checkpoint right here. So even if you do have that happen to you, you can just go ahead and start from this section. You won't have to go back to where you were previously. But I just like to go ahead and bomb this section right in front of me quite a bit. There's always one or two guys that show up. You're not going to be able to see much, because if you're using this method, it's going to be a bunch of smoke in front of you. So I just like to go ahead and fire away. You can't overfire here, because like I said, you can just keep resupplying. And because I didn't want to take any damage, I was like, you know what? I'm not risking it. I'm firing at everything. Because I did stay here for probably about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, because I was trying to use a regular weapon, and I just kept getting some weird angles from the enemies, and they kept shooting me. So I said, I'm just going to go in here and bomb everybody and just keep bombing them and get through it that way. Take that first guy out using that heroic action, then peep around and get this dude behind the brick wall. I've never tried playing this, because you can go left and right here. I've never tried playing this section going to the right, so I don't know if it's easier. I've always done it this way. There's always going to be two guys over here. The grease gun, by the way, is garbage on veteran difficulty for damage. I mean, it is a good gun, but you got to make sure you kill them. You'll see that those two guys, I thought I had them dead, and they weren't. And I think there's one guy right here that I shoot, because what'll happen is you'll see them go down to the floor. You're like, okay, well, they're dead, but they won't be dead. And I remember when I was practicing this, I took a lot of player damage that way. I think it's this guy. Like, I shot him like 3 or 4 times. Like, oh, he's dead, but he wasn't. So I had to reload super quick and get my shots on. And I remember taking a lot of damage when I was practicing this, going, man, I keep thinking these dudes are dead. So I feel like there's just other guns. Like, I think the M1 Garand is like 2 shots maybe. 1 shot to the head, 2 shots to the body, I want to say. So I just prefer guns like that than the grease gun. But sometimes in this game, you just got to deal with what you have. There's always going to be these dudes up here. I've tried killing these dudes before using the RPG or the Panzerschreck. I did it right there, but I got lucky. If you go back and you pause that when I fired that RPG round off, there's a good chance you're going to miss, hit the wall in front of you, or hit the ceiling, and the splash damage is so bad, well, especially for me, it's either going to kill you or you're going to take damage. So if you're doing this challenge for yourself, it's not smart, but I just got away with it. But looking back on the footage, I probably shouldn't have risked it that way. Even in here, you've got your, I guess you could carry it over from the previous area. You can get some Panzerschreck shots off, but you do have to be careful that you don't hit some wall in front of you or take some unnecessary splash damage. But look at this angle right here, boys and girls. This is a very tricky area. There's I think there's only 2 floors worth of enemies, and they're right and left side. The center pretty much has I guess the center is a death trap because they can hit you from both sides. I've even tried going up to the second floor that was above me where I'm at right now. I still didn't find that to be that easy, but this spot right here, you are 100% protected on your right-hand side because you have that big column in front of you. See how I'm being real slow when I shoot that RPG round right there? Because I don't want to hit that column in front of me and either, well, I guess at this point I would die if I shot the column, but I definitely don't want to take any crazy player damage. But this is the spot right here, guys. You can take out the entire left-hand side of this room. And remember, all you have to do is work your way to the back behind the stairs. You don't have to kill all the enemies in this area at all. You just need to thin them out enough to make your push. And I find that this side, because of that one angle, is probably your best bet to get through here. I guess if you have smoke and you want to use it, you could just like pop a chain of smoke, you know, like leapfrog them so that it's just a wall of smoke, and you might be able to just run through here, especially if you're not worried about player damage like we are, or like I am. You can probably just do that once you've killed all these enemies on ground level and just run and get to the end and get the checkpoint, right? That might be a possibility. But I had to be a little bit more tactful going through here just because. And then there's an heroic action right there you can participate in. And then, of course, right there you have your checkpoint. So that's how I like to play it. I've tried playing it right side, right side downstairs, and I tried to play it left side upstairs, and didn't find too much success with it. Definitely possible, but I felt like it took way too long, and I took damage, which is disqualifies me from my own challenge. Right here, it's just a matter of taking out these vehicles. Right there, I was fairly confident that I shot that thing, but you saw that I missed. I don't know what it is about these RPGs, but then I finally take it out. I want to say later on in the game there's one part where you would just see the thing curve, like you shoot straight at it and it just curves away from the enemy and misses them completely. I don't know if that's in this clip or not in this video, but that's happened so many times, man, and it's really annoying. This is just a quick time event. Again, just follow your prompts. Nothing new here. I don't find these quick time events in this game to be hard at all. I don't think I've ever even failed out of one. They give you so much time. Like right there, I went the wrong direction and came back and still had time. They're just not. There's way more tough quick time events in other games than in this game. Okay, go do that. And I think we're getting near the end here. Oh, we got to save the little girl. That's what we got to do. This can be a little bit tricky because you do have to memorize where the enemies are going to be at. And I don't think the game randomizes which door she's in. I want to say that both times I've played this on veteran difficulty, she's always in this room. So I don't think there's a need to go around and check each room, but I could be wrong about that. But I'm fairly confident she's going to be in this back left room each time. You want to wait for this first guy. By the way, did y'all see all that pixelation that was happening with that light? That's not anything that I've done in editing. I remember seeing that in the actual game going, when that flashlight was shining through that area, that looked rough. There's a couple of texture issues in this game that I've seen too that look really bad, and that was one of them. I was like, ooh, that light just looks horrible. You just want to make sure you wait right here. This dude's gonna push over here to the right in between these shelves. When he does, that should be enough opportunity for you to go ahead and make your push all the way to the door. Now there's gonna be one guy that flashes through the door. You can just go ahead and go left right here. You can probably go to the right as well behind the door, but I don't know if the other guard's gonna see you. The guard that we just bypassed. Oh no, I guess he's looking the other way. I guess either way would work, but if you want to play super safe, head to the left, wait behind those barrels, and you should be good. Now in this section, I go pretty fast through here. I don't know. I mean, I know they can see you because the little icon shows up over their head and starts to fill up, but you can see I'm going through this fairly fast. I'm not really crouching. I'm not really paying attention to anybody. Like right there, I guess they almost see me, but I'm going so fast that it's like they just don't care. So I don't really feel like you have to play that too patiently, guys. I just push is my logic there, because I don't even think I stopped going through there at all. I may have slowed down a little bit, but I never like stopped and crouched and waited. Oh, this is the last section right here. Yeah, defend your position. So what you can do, guys, very simple. Head to the back of this truck. You can get all your kills here. I also, if I'm remembering correctly, I want to say there's a dog. Oh yeah, because I'm backing up. Yeah, there's the dog. Make sure you kill that little booger. Most of the time your teammates will, but those little dogs, especially when you're going for no player damage, they can end your sequence. And it sucks. So anytime I know there's a dog on the map, I always back up and point down at the ground and wait to kill them little boogers. But yeah, if you just chill back here, I think there's going to be a flamethrower guy that comes out if I'm remembering correctly. I really wish I'd have put this commentary on these videos right when I played them. And if I felt like I wouldn't have had to reset my checkpoint so many times, I would have just done live commentary. I prefer doing live commentary, guys. I find that I can talk more contextually about what's happening. Plus, I don't have to go back and do post commentary, which is basically like playing the game over again. If it's a 10-hour campaign, that's 10 hours of commentary, right, that I have to go through. So I'd rather just do it live, but I knew I was going to have to restart my checkpoint so many times. I didn't really think that was going to be a viable strategy. Guys, that's it. Hopefully you have enjoyed. I'll see you right back here in the next episode. You guys be good.